Everyone, welcome to Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. This is Aisha, your Tuesday blogger. And for those who may not know, my channel name here on YouTube is Grelin Be Gone. I am also known as Shea Leonard on Facebook, if anyone is interested in following me in either of those places. And again, I am the Tuesday blogger. And this week's question is, what is or was your biggest misconception of how life post-op would be? And the one answer that just jumped out at me, and because I was going through this a few weeks ago, was I didn't expect to be able to eat more so soon. Now, I am headed into my 17th month post-op on April 16th. I'll be 17 months post-op. And so I am not, early in the journey. I've reached goal. I'm 4 months in maintenance. But I love those early days as a weight loss surgery post-op person. The baby size food that we got to eat. And so I remember, making videos, and even when I speak to the newbies and previes and support group every month, I always tell them to enjoy these early days when you're literally eating a tablespoon of something and you're stuffed, because those days come to an end, and when they come to an end, that ultimately means that you have to exercise more self-control. The tool works when you work it, when you work those rules around the tool, but we can eat more. As the further you get out, you can eat more in one setting, more in a day. And so when I was pre-op, I found these little wooden eggs, and mine has 11, 16, 10, and TYJ on the bottom, which means thank you, Jesus. And I have freedom on here, and I keep this on my kitchen counter because this is the size that I was told my stomach would be after I left out of surgery. And so that little egg, sometimes when I'm in the kitchen, I look up at that little egg and I remind myself, eat to the egg. Now, again, I'm nearly 17 months post-op. And so just a few weeks ago, I was going through this sadness because I could eat more, and I didn't want to be able to eat more. I miss those days of half a cup of food. Now, I still measure out a half a cup of food in terms of like when I get yogurt or when I'm getting beans. I'll measure out a half a cup, but I'm adding cheese to it and sometimes meat. And so one day I reached for 2/3 of a cup. And I was like, I don't want to be able to eat that much. But I know that it's part of it. I was at a surgeon seminar and they talked about how, so many years post-op you should be able to eat a half of what you could eat as a normal stomach. And so evidently the stomach will keep making room for that amount of food. But I reached for 2/3 of a cup, and I was too full in the end, so that made me happy. But the fact of the matter is sometimes my eyes are bigger than my stomach, and that tendency to want to pile up my plate is still there. But anyway, I started the journey, had this little dish where I remember putting like cottage cheese here, maybe a little tablespoon of tuna fish here, and maybe a half a boiled egg. And I would eat off of this, or I'd have a little yogurt here, a little cottage cheese here, and I would eat off of this dish, and I was stuffed. It was unbelievable, but I'd be stuffed. And so I miss those. I miss those days sometimes. And then I had, this size bowl. And now, most of the time when I reach in the cupboard, I grab for this size bowl, because if I'm putting yogurt, like a half a cup of yogurt, and I'm adding fruit to it, and then sometimes I put whipped cream on top of it, so I have more room. But I obviously can still eat out of this, but the fact of the matter is I'm more satisfied eating out of this. And you can tell it's grown. I'm 17 months post-op. And so the point is, to people new to the journey, you're pre-op, you're anxious to get going, please cherish those days, those months where your food is small and the tool is doing more work for you than you have to do for yourself. I still eat off a little tiny plate, because I obviously can't eat. 2/3 of a cup of whatever I'm serving myself at home is plenty, and depending upon if it's solid protein and so on and so forth, I can't always eat all of it, or I'm stuffed. And so I still appreciate being stuffed early, even though sometimes I'm like, dang, I wanted to eat everything I could. But the fact of the matter is, my biggest misconception, or what I just didn't think of, was that you'll be able to eat more one day. Bottom line, you can eat more, you have to exercise more self-control. I still believe in protein first, and I just keep reminding myself, yes, I can eat more, but what am I eating? And remembering that at the end of the day, it's what I'm eating, not necessarily how much I'm eating. And I'm just, going with my body, and I struggle at times not to overstuff myself so that I don't stretch out my pouch and stretch out my stomach and all of whatever is going on inside of me, or the little hole that drops the food into the intestines, that gets stretched. And I know there's revision surgeries and all those kinds of things, but bottom line is, no matter how much we can eat, it's what we're eating. And I want to keep that, in the back of my mind, and embrace the fact that I can't eat more. I need to eat more because of my fitness schedule. But again, I'm, very cautious about what I'm eating, because I want to stay under my goal weight and those kinds of things. But yeah, that was my big misconception. I didn't expect to be able to eat so much more already. And I'm only 17 months post-op. And so, again, for those of you new into the weight loss surgery world, take your time in those early months. Love every minute of the fact that you get full off of 1/4 of a cup. Enjoy it. Don't rush it, because it is going to go away. Even drinking water, I remember, oh my gosh, I'm not going to be able to have, knock back water, just guzzle it back. And to a certain degree, I can knock back 8 ounces faster than I could, 17 months ago, obviously. I can't knock it back like, pre-op, but water can even go in faster than it used to. So your body just kind of goes with the flow, and that's why it's so important that at the end of the day, no matter how much you can eat, it's what you're eating. And so that is the answer to my question this week. This is Aisha, Proof Weight Loss Surgery Works. You guys have a great rest of the day. Bye-bye.